First, to say hello to our distinguished guest, Bilgin Demir from International Development University. This today's lecture is the one way of the cooperation that we have with the same institution between us and our Office for International Relations is responsible for this today event. And of course, with us are students from business informatics and business economy. So we will now call our guest to take a lecture.
Hvala puno. Dobrodošli, така? So I will continue in English. So good morning and good evening, everyone. And thank you for this warm welcome, of course. And it's a real pleasure, to be honest, to be here at the University of Novi Pazar today. And of course, thank you for your invitation. So my name, as you mentioned, is Bilgin Demir, and I am PhD student at the International Balkan University in Skopje, North Macedonia. And alongside my academic research, I also work in healthcare technology industry almost 15 years. And from last year in a company for workforce management that is controlling the hospital workforce in UK particularly now. And previously 12 years in developing the, we can say, world's largest remote cardiac monitoring platform that was developed for US market. And it was acquired by Philips on 2021, 5 years ago. Today, we will explore how AI, artificial intelligence, is reshaping, let's say, the way healthcare professionals understand and act on a medical data. So the title of this lecture, as you can see, is From Signals to Smart Decisions. And because that's exactly what AI does. And it transforms the noisy and continuous biological signals of our body into meaningful life-saving. Before we begin, I'd like to hear from you how many of you have heard about AI being used maybe in hospitals or wearable health devices? Yes, please.
I've heard that AI has been used for cancer research, for particularly skin cancer, where by accident they developed an AI that was used for inquiries, and quickly was transferred into using for cancer research after a customer had their hand in one of the images.
Yeah, it's good. And yeah, we'll talk later about these kind of topics like trust, accuracy, and other topics that are important in AI, because, you know, maybe you are using some AI tools that is hallucinating. So maybe you heard about the Deloitte company that they did a very big mistake, a lot of money problems without good research maybe, and that. But about the cancer, that my colleague Elzana tomorrow will explain more detail about that part. But yeah, okay. So let's go. Here's, as you can see, what our journey today will look like today. So we will start, of course, with healthcare challenges. What are the challenges in healthcare? Understanding the real-world platforms and problems that AI is trying to solve in this time. Then we will dive into the signal processing, that how raw psychologically data becomes something usable value. And next we'll explore AI architectures, especially deep learning and CNN, convolutional network, neural networks. And we'll look also a little bit on real world applications, including one of my projects that I was working in for ECG analysis and ECG remote cardiac monitoring in Philips. And finally, we will discuss future directions also, where healthcare AI is, let's say, hitting in the next 5, 10, and 15 years, let's say. I would like to ask again another question. So which part do you think is the hardest part here? Maybe collecting the data, building the model, or maybe convincing doctors to trust it? Sorry? Trust? Yeah. We will dive in for next slides about that, but just wanted your opinion a little bit. Okay, trust. Definitely trust is very important. As we mentioned, just few weeks before Deloitte did a very big mistake. So how we can trust on AI if we are not doing maybe good data, if we are not building also good models in order to have, as you mentioned, trust. Yeah. So let's begin with data itself. Every second, hospital generates a massive amounts of psychological data. So like ECG, EEG, blood oxygen levels, maybe we can say heart rates and many more. For example, a single 12-lead ECG recording can have tens of thousands of data points per patient. And the hospital may record thousands of these every day. So the challenge isn't just volume here, but also the complexity. And these signals, as you can see here, like are noisy. Maybe we can say influenced by countless factors like age, movement, medications, and even emotional state. Traditionally, a trained cardiologist interprets like ECGs visually and scanning waveforms from abnormalities. But imagine doing that continuously for thousands of patients in real time. It's impossible, of course. And that's why AI becomes here crucial. Not to replace doctors, of course, but to extend their capabilities. Because, you know, we have a lot of population now in the world, but unfortunately, according to some analyses, less young people are deciding to study medicine. So that is a little bit, not a little bit, but maybe more pressure for the healthcare and to, as let's say, humans, we cannot get a quality. We can see this in our regions in Balkans, as you can see, but not only in Balkans, also in European countries. This is happening currently. We had this kind of also in our town hall meetings before in Philips. The technology leaders are, that is why they are more and more concentrating on AI because of to get benefit as a human, we to get benefit from them. Because imagine, for example, in Skopje, I know from my other family that they are doing some MRs, but that MRs cannot be read like for 1 week, 5 days, or 10 days. Why? Because doctors are busy. So because we don't have too much doctors for all this MR, and then AI here is crucial also. It's important. So with this, like with hospitals, let's say, and the ECG, how many ECG signals do you think a large hospital records in a single day? Hundreds, thousands, millions. It's millions. So millions of individual signal samples. So it's a too much data. So AI without data, you know, we can say it's nothing. So why AI? So there are three main reasons we use AI in healthcare. As we mentioned in our slides: speed, accuracy, and scale. So speed, AI analyze signals in milliseconds, whereas humans take minutes maybe or hours. In emergency care, every second matters. So accuracy also is important. DL, like deep learning, can detect subtle abnormalities invisible to the human eye. So, for example, I don't know, an AI model can identify early signs of arrhythmia before a human might even suspect it. And for scale, AI can also monitor thousands of patients simultaneously, and something to that no, let's say, team of doctors can do manually because of the time. So the true value of AI isn't just automation, it's augmentation. And it helps humans do what they do best, but faster and more, let's say, preciously. Like I can also take an example here. I will take this example later when I will explain about my journey in remote cardiac monitoring platform. Yeah. Okay, sorry. So let's jump from signals to intelligence. Here is how, let's say, the journey from a raw signal to a smart decision works. So we have a raw signal, and this is what we capture directly from the sensors. For example, an ECG waveform showing electrical activity of the heart. And we have done pre-processing. We clean the signal, removing the noise, and filtering artifacts and normalizing the data with pre-processing. That part is also important. And AI analysis we have done. The cleaned signal is then fed into a neutral network, let's say, that identifies the patterns and decisions. Of course, at the end, the AI outputs diagnosis or alert, and which is then reviewed by doctor in modern hospitals. This pipeline happens definitely continuously, and decisions can be made in under a second. So I will take now as an example, this my explanation was more about the hospital, but in the company that I was working for developing the cardiac monitoring platform, imagine that we had a device, hardware. I forgot to bring, I was planning to bring that, but I will show later in the maybe online. It's a patch here, and after that patch, you have the phone, and you need to, you can jump, you can go, you can walk, you can drink coffee, whatever you want with your friends, colleagues, families, and doctors. I mean, the hospital and this system with AI and algorithms are monitoring. It's more you are under monitoring. Your ECG is under monitoring. So we had one example when like 80 years woman was driving a car in California, and our system detect a little bit small, let's say, infrared. Correct? Infrared was that? Yeah, infrared. Yeah. Small infrared, but she was okay, and she had a call from hospital like, okay, where are you now? I'm driving car, please stop, do not drive, we'll send you an ambulance, we need to have some checkups for you. So with that, 80 years woman is saved, and maybe other in the traffic are saved. So this is not life-saving system, but it's life monitoring that can save, and also you can like under monitoring your let's say heart, you can do another things, and you have more quality life instead of staying at hospital a few days. You can go at home, and currently this system is working on US market, and after acquisition with Philips, we did the international for this one in Nordic countries, Spain, France, and Germany. And yes, now I'm not in that company. So have any of you, of course, used a smartwatch maybe? Yeah. For that, or maybe like fitness tracker, let's say. And so that's a simple version of what's happening here. Simple version, let's say, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the brain of the system. So we have a convolutional neural networks, or CNN. We can mention here algorithm. CNNs are inspired by the human visual cortex. So they scan data, they weather images or signals, and to automatically detect features. And in the case of ECG, we have like the input. The input layer receives multiple ECG signals. The hidden layers also automatically extract important features such as QRS complexes, let's say, from the ECG, and the output layer classifies whether the pattern represents a maybe normal rhythm, arrhythmia, or maybe myocardial infarction. And in one of my studies with my mentor, and also we did together with a little bit with Elzana, CNN-based system reached above 96-98% accuracy in detecting these abnormalities. Of course, we did with second data sets from what other researchers are doing with MIT, with INCART data sets, but this is also something that some other journals and other researchers are doing with a long of data sets. And with one example, as I can mention, for example, I don't know if you are using Apple Watch, I'm not using it, but Apple did a case study with our company before Philips bought us, like with biotelemetry, because we had a lot of data. We had millions of data in US, and we signed an agreement with Apple Watch, and they did a case study together with our data, because in order to do these kind of things, you need, at the end, for the production ready, let's say, you need a good data, real data, not the second data set, let's say. And when you move AI, let's say, from research to real world devices, as we mentioned before, new challenges here emerge, like memory constraints, like latency requirements, and power efficiency. All these constraints force to design lightweight, maybe AI models that are both powerful and efficient, of course. So to overcome these hardware limitations, we currently also I'm working on memory efficient architectures. So to have model pruning and to have quantization and to have efficient layers. So with quantization, we convert 32-bit models into 8-bit precision, so saving 75% of memory and computation. Have you ever, for example, noticed how your phone can, let's say, now process AI filters or speech recognize offline? Yeah, did you notice that? So that's the same idea, edge computing. Here we have edge computing. In one of also our research, we did experiments with parallel ECG analysis using OpenMP. So please take a note. This is very interesting tool, OpenMP. So parallelization. Traditionally, ECG data is processing sequentially, so one lead at one time, which took around maybe 2.4 seconds. And using MP, OpenMP, to parallelize, let's say, the process, we reduced that just 0.3 seconds and 8-time speed up. So that's a good improvement. It's and it takes, let's say, real-time monitoring of multiple patients practical. And I would like to jump also. Here are some real-world results from our AI models, like above 97 accuracy for normal rhythm detection. We have 94.8 sensitivity for arrhythmia identification and 96.1 specificity for myocardial infarction detection. So compared to the traditional rule-based methods, that's an improvement of around 12-15%. But more importantly, it means more patients get faster, more reliable diagnosis. So before, as I mentioned, before joining the academia, I spent over 12 years working on a remote cardiac monitoring platform there. So our goal was not to ensure that, let's say, even subtle arrhythmias were detected in real time and transmitted securely to clinicians there, but we integrated the same core principles that you see also now in this research that you can do. I will send you the 4 researches that I did related with this, let's say, topic. So that's, we can say, hands-on like expertise do much of my, let's say, PhD research. I wanted to make these systems faster, let's say, lighter and smarter, so they could move from hospital servers to a more big hospitals, because currently also we are doing this for remote cardiac monitoring. So the same AI principles also extend beyond cardiology. So tomorrow you will see the presentation from Elzana about AI also in cancer, and we have the medical imaging, like AI helps radiologists to read the CT, MRI, and X-ray scans faster and with fewer errors. So and not only with errors, the fast moment is here. It's important in order to serve to humans more faster. Do not wait 5 days, 7 days, doctor to be available. So doctor can take help from AI tools here. So also drug, we can talk about that. The drug discovery, you already heard about that. AI already suggested a good medicine drugs for some people. So here we have personalized medicine that by combining genomics and AI, we can tailor treatments to each individual biology. So this is very important. For oncology, maybe AI helps match the right chemotherapy protocol to a patient's genetic profile. So it's very important to improving survival rates. So when we talk about AI in healthcare, so about the remote cardiac monitoring, that platform also embodies today's topic that we are discussing, transforming signals to smart decisions. So capturing ECG data, analyzing it throughout the AI algorithms, and alerting doctors in seconds. So the same challenges we faced in the industry are this, and scalability, let's say, latency that is important, privacy, we will talk later about privacy, interpretability. All these are exactly the ones we are now trying, let's say, from academic point of view to solve with all these researchers. Yeah. And here are the challenges. With all these possibilities come serious, of course, responsibilities, as we mentioned. Data privacy is very important. So medical data is highly sensitive. So that is why regulations like GDPR or HIPAA exist to protect it. And bias, we have bias or fairness. AI must work equally well for all population across age, gender, ethnicity. Also, we have regulatory approvals. Models must be strict standard from authorities like, for example, in US we have FDA, Food and Drug Administration. In Europe we have CE. So or other regulations depends on the country. So all these are important, and we have human oversight. AI should definitely assist, not replace doctors, because final responsibility must always rest with the clinician. And in short, trust is very important as accuracy. So everything is important here, because we mentioned the problem that was in the world with Deloitte company. So they believe in that AI model without doing maybe a good research accuracy or analyzing, and they had a problem about that. So would you personally trust an AI system, for example, now to diagnose or for your family member? Why or why not? Yep, please.
Especially in the last month, a lot of people have been focusing on the hallucinations that AI creates. And my question is the accuracy between a doctor, for example, what are the percentages for a doctor to be accurate, and what are the percentages for an AI to be accurate, and if an AI, you could say, rationally came up to that decision, or did it just make it up and it was correct?
Yes, definitely good question. But here, as you mentioned, it's important to have to be tested from a lot of data. For example, I will take an example. Apple is Apple, but why is Apple? Because they have access to. I mean, they paid my ex-company, of course. They get the data and they test it from that data. So that is very important. Also maybe you heard a few years ago, I believe, one I don't know, in mountain or where, but one cyclist with bike, he was he had a problem, and then Apple Watch sent alert signal to, I don't know where, to his another family, whatever, they detect them, and they help them. So all these are important, and in order for trust to get trust. So that is why this is a multidisciplinary approach. So we can take later about this topic. So we as engineers, we are in close communication with doctors or maybe with other from other disciplinary people. So that is why we need to have multidisciplinary work here. We as engineers, we need to, for example, we can start from simple application, whatever, Instagram or Facebook or any kind of web application. When they are doing something, you need to build in a quality way in order to serve, let's say, the end users, the customers. Also here, AI is not developing himself, let's say, by own. Like we are as engineers, we are helping AI to reach that accuracy or whatever. But if we allow somehow to hallucinate, yeah, that is why here also test is very important. So test in a very big data in order to have that trust. Also doctors need to have trust to use that AI, not only humans to go in that, let's say, hospital with let's say AI tools, whatever. But at the end, for humans, the important for them is they to be served in a quality way. How they will be served, maybe it's not important for them. As you mentioned, maybe doctor without AI, he can do a mistake, and we have examples in the world that they are doing the mistakes. But here, as we mentioned in our previous slides, if we teach the AI the large language models or our models in a good way, they can detect something that human cannot detect, because we don't have time to detect everything. But they have time because they don't have 8 hours working. Let's say they are working 7/24. Yeah, but it's a good topic discussion that we can maybe talk by tomorrow morning. Yeah. So here a little bit, let's to look about future of the let's say healthcare, AI in healthcare. Like we have AI, we will have federated learning. We will need to have. Why? Because data is very important. Data privacy is important. I will took like an example. It's not a direct topic for AI, but our systems are in UK currently, in my current company that we are working for workforce management. But because of GDPR, our cloud engineers are not able to log into the AWS servers in UK and to deploy, imagine, not to sync the data. So GDPR is very important here. So once AI will start be used in a large scale, let's say, we will heard about GDPR problems, HIPAA problems, all this data. That is why it's important, the data governance also here. And also explainable AI, so making machine reasoning transparent so doctors understand every decision. So that is why here again it's the same topic. So we need to make machine reasoning and transparent, so doctors definitely can trust to them and understand the decision. And yeah, maybe beyond 2030, and technology leaders are talking about AI human, let's say, symbiosis, like where AI and clinicians, also doctors, work hand in hand, complementing each other's strength. For example, in China already there are some, maybe you can watch some videos, but I have one colleague that her husband is directly there currently in a few months for robotic surgery, and they are sending some videos that, wow, they are fascinating. So we saw them maybe in our sci-fi films before. Yeah. So yeah, do you think we'll ever have AI doctors, or maybe will human always stay in charge?
I personally believe that there is no such thing as an AI doctor. I mean, AI will definitely help you with upcoming illness, but I don't think it's going to, at least not in this day and age, or like the following decades. Maybe there 2100 or something like that, there was an actual robot that can actually perform the surgeries, emergency help, that I cannot even begin to imagine how that would work. But as of right now, and as of how it's all going, I don't think an AI doctor will probably be here in the next 5 to 6 decades at least. That's at least my.
Yeah, interesting.
I personally think that AI could be used for less sensitive branches of medicine, like as a nutritionist, or maybe to like recommend workouts for the gym, or recommend some exercises or whatever based off of like given data, like the weight, heart rate, etc., etc. Other than that, for more like sensitive things like surgery or stuff about like heart or cancer, definitely not.
Yeah. There is no right or wrong answer definitely here, guys. Just to be, also we don't know the answer. I mean, technology leaders also don't know the answer yet. So that's why we all are still in that era, AI era, let's say, that we are learning all together. So you are young engineers, you are learning. We at a mid-age, let's say, we are learning, and we all learning today. So that it will be interesting. So there is a person of interest, one film series, maybe Netflix, I don't know where, but yeah, I'm asking you to watch about related with this topic. What about? It's not related with AI doctors. It's related with AI. So how after a few years it's going on because of we have good mans, good humans, bad humans, let's say, whatever. So if your target is to have some bad things, so maybe you can teach something. So because not everyone will teach the AI to do good things. So that will be another problem. That is why it should be maybe under control. Now technology leaders countries are discussing about AI to take AI under control now in order to not have a problem in future. We'll see. Everything will depend on that. So yeah, to summarize our journey today, we can say that AI transforms complex medical signals into actionable insights, and real-time healthcare requires efficient, definitely, and optimized architectures here. And CNN's algorithms and parallel computing, of course, have made ECG analysis more than we can say 98 maybe percentage of accuracy and 8 times speed up. And the future lies in collaboration, definitely, in AI with human expertise here, definitely. And healthcare isn't just about definitely machines. It's about people using technology to save other people. And also here are these publications are also these results that also a little bit some results that I mentioned are part of my research journey, and that were published in some conferences and also such as IEEE Explore, MDP, Springer Nature, and for example, in one of my work like overview of memory efficiency, we can check there the contributions to the academic world. Let's say we together with my mentor we reviewed and synthesized the techniques there, like model pruning, quantization, and hardware-aware network design. That was interesting. Together with we did it together with ECG with the MIT data, and maybe I can mention here about the OpenMP. That was interesting. Also, another work that the contribution here that we did a little bit to academic world. Here we demonstrated that parallel processing framework for ECG that cut the execution time significantly here, and enabling definitely scalable real-time monitoring, and also provided insights into how treat scaling saturates here, and how, for example, you must tailor to hardware. And yeah, other topics also you can check if you are interested in somehow. And in relation to our main theme here, this shows that the speed and the scale and part of signals to smart decisions. So it's one thing for the algorithm to make a decision, and definitely it's another to deliver it in let's say time and scale in hospital settings, because it's important that. So definitely, if any of you are planning to have continuity with your whatever in technology industry or in the academic, so healthcare AI is definitely, in my opinion, a fantastic field there. It's we can say interdisciplinary, as we mentioned, impactful and continuously evolving. and it will evolve. Not only in healthcare, but healthcare AI, it's very fantastic thing. Not for any reason, Philips both us like in the COVID in 2020, end of 2020. So after a few months after COVID, Philips decided to reach their portfolio with our platform that we were developing. Like, I was not part in that company from the beginning, but they started with that company with MCAT, because we have halters. Maybe you have heard about halter. Halter is something that you are using that you are going to hospital, they are installing the halter. Okay, it's too much cables, and you are doing like whatever your activities you can do with that cables, with all these cables, 24 or 20 or 48 hours, but it should be extended some days if the doctor decided for 3 days, 5 days. And halter is something that is not live monitoring. After using the halter, you are going to hospital, they are taking the device and they are putting the device, the data in the computer, and they are checking the ECG manually. So that's the halter part. Philips, after bought us like 2021, in end of 2021, they finished the acquisition with one French company, cardiologs. So what that guys are doing? That was a young engineers as you are and startup company. Instead of doctors read all that halters, AI was reading all that halters. Too much data, too much. Why doctors to spend time and to waste time on that? So that's one example. Another example is MCAT, mobile cardiac telemetry. That is the live monitoring part that I'm talking also about, not the halter one. MCAT is something that you are using the patch without fancy patch, without cables, and you can run, you can jump, you can play a football, basketball, whatever you want, and you are under monitoring. Your heart is under monitoring, and also that part also is important, and it's evolving as we are mentioning. It was without AI, but now it's with AI. So all these things are important. So I'm sure tomorrow we will have another good presentation from Elzana about another part of AI in another part of healthcare. So thank you. Teşekkürler Fala. Thank you for your attention definitely here. And AI, as we mentioned, is let's say in healthcare, it isn't just a topic that we can discuss definitely here. It's a mission to take definitely to make medicine, maybe we can say, more precious, more proactive, more personal, because you heard about personal, as we mentioned in our slides, personalization in the AI. So not everything in also currently I'm doing with my niece. I'm doing with genetics some research about genetics, cardiac arrhythmia disease. And as you know, each genomes are different. We have other genetics in our body, let's say, and that is why AI, as with personalized AI, it will make a good difference in the medicine, in the healthcare world. And now it's doing, and in the future more it will do. It will be visible all around us in Balkans also, not only in US or maybe in Japan. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you for your hospitality. And do you have any topics that you want to discuss? Questions? Yeah, please.
I have a couple of questions. You have mentioned that a lot of AI has to process a lot of memory. So, for example, are you making the model more optimized, or are you optimizing process the data, or look at the data as is?
Yeah. The question is yes on your sub questions. So it's important to have optimization. It's important to have memory efficient, because also it's not important only the model, only the software part, because that is why we are talking about here the OpenMP, the parallelization, because the hardware is very important also. Depends on where you are going to use. For example, in the live monitoring devices, you don't need too much that part, because I can simply explain how was working the system. For example, imagine that this is the patch here, install it, and this is your phone, and you are walking, you are going whatever you want. So in case you have, like, for example, I am with bradycardia, my heart is like 50 in the mornings. Doctors are saying it's a sportman heart, whatever. So for example, if I'm going to doctor and doctor is saying to me, okay, we will install you, and doctor will put in the settings alert, for example, in case Bilgins bits, let's say, will be under 45, let's say, we need to have alert, we need to have notification in our system. Okay, and I'm sleeping. Imagine that I'm sleeping, or I'm doing some activities. Even if I'm doing that activities, my heart is like around 25, 26, 25, boom, and it's going. I'm not feeling anything. It's going in our system alert, because this is linked with the phone, not only phone, the mobile application in the phone, with GSM. You know, with the GSM, we are sending the data in our backend system. So for that, for example, for that same, let's say, example, we don't need too much big hardwares or whatever. But in hospital settings, definitely we need. Especially in the big hospitals, when you have more than 50 or maybe 100 patients with ECG problems, abnormalities, whatever, and on that time we need good optimization, good hardware for also parallelization there. Yeah. In order to serve more patients and to have accuracy and to not have any problems, because you'll know now, after your studies, you'll jump in the industry and you will see all these things that I'm talking, not from healthcare point of view. Imagine, for example, sometimes when you are opening some web application, it's too much loading. It's not good, correct? For you, it's not good as a customer. So imagine this is happening in hospital for ECG. It will be terrible, yeah.
Also, catching that difference between a outside surrounding and the hospital surrounding. For example, experimental features that you wish to push into the application. Would you use it everywhere, even in the hospital, or for example, on some minor patients, someone who just had a slight heart attack or some minor problem?
Yeah, we are aiming to do this whenever it's possible, let's say, because currently we are using, as I mentioned, a second data. So currently we are in a communication with one hospital in Macedonia, for example. For that, we are planning to discuss with them, because I'm not talking just only from academic point of view. I'm talking also for whatever we did previously in our previous company. We were like 20-25 experts in Macedonia. The software part, 80% of that software, all these parts, because all these parts are different softwares. We had customer face application, we had mobile application, we had few applications in the backend system that were processing the reports in order to send to doctors again the report. So we had a good expert there, and now we are in communication with that hospital in Macedonia to try if they are interested to reorganize again this team and to start building that service again from scratch. But also here I am planning, as a PhD student and as I'm an academic now researcher, to do some models, not to create from scratch old-fashioned, let's say, that was from the late 80s. It was created late 80s. So you were not in this world. I was just born late 81. And we want now this to be like with AI, to combine that, to create that from scratch and to combine with that. So in that particular question, to answer your question, I am planning to check with that hospital to give me the data if they approve it, because data is sensitive, as you know. So we need to have to check the regulations, to check the data governance, and to have the data. If I have that data, and then yes, definitely I am planning to do that. Otherwise, I will use the second data sets for my PhD thesis. Yeah.
Okay, many thanks to our today's lectures. And for all this information, we from this locality know how this will help. Let's say you mentioned that it will speed time for X-ray or MRI. This summer we have a situation where we have only 4 doctors who read X-ray in our hospital. 3 of them was on vacation. So I will help to reduce time,
Definitely.
I hope, and of course there is a chance to be some mistakes, but as you say, doctors are, that will be just a tool for doctor, as I understand from
Yes.
your presentation. So many thanks, and I hope that our students will be in touch with you to make some contacts, maybe some topics for research will be came from this.
Definitely. Thank you very much.
I invite you to take your certificate of attendance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hvala. Hvala puno. Hvala.